Gervonta Tank Davis by slaughter. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. In this video, do a little bit of film breakdown. Gervonta Tank Davis fights tomorrow night against Lamont Roach. I'm not going to do the thing that a lot of channels would do or individuals who want to hype the fight. Tank Davis is an economy of himself. He's an exciting fighter. There's a reason why he's going to break his own records and sell out the Barclays and do all this wild shit. But you should just know, if you're looking at this fight and in your mind you have it, you know, Lamont Roach can do this. Let me just go ahead and bring you back down to earth. He's getting stopped bad, and I have the punch that'll do it, or one or two of them. Let's just get into the content. First of all, come in, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when all the content drops. Like I mentioned before, Tank Davis is fighting tomorrow night, Saturday, against Lamont Roach, coming up from 130. He weighed in today at 135 even. Tank Davis weighed in at 133, trim and ready to rock. Now, let me just get to the money. There's a couple issues with this bout that I have. Not with the bout itself, but how you evaluate the measure of success for one Lamont Roach. He is getting stopped, and he's getting stopped bad. We can just, there you go, we're there. A couple issues I have, and we'll get into the film study. Coming up in weight, he's just not a big puncher. He went 12 rounds with Hector Luis Garcia, got a fake knockdown in the 12th, and it was largely a counter-punching fest where he ate a shot on repeat that I'll break down in this video. But at the end of the day, that's a common opponent for Tank Davis, who he punched so hard in the side of his head that he couldn't see and retired on the stool. So we know that Tank's a power puncher, but I want to look at that common opponent. How did the guy do, blah, blah, blah? Because we had this conversation, right? What's a good example? How did Vergil Ortiz do against Madrimov versus Bud versus Madrimov, right? Common opponents, how did they look, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people said, I felt like Vergil Ortiz had a better showing against Madrimov than Bud Crawford, but that's whatever. Lamont Roach coming up in weight, taking on Tank Davis, he's going to get cooked. So there's no power, oftentimes slaps his punches. He has a decent operating understanding of the Philly shell, but it invites punches. And I think most of us would agree that you can't have a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis just getting free shots on you, be it to the body or to the melon. You know, he stopped Ryan Garcia to the body. He, like I mentioned before, Hector Luis Garcia, he got his eye. He couldn't see and shit like that. He looked crazy. And he separated the ghost Frank Martin from his senses, excuse me. So you know what kind of heat he's bringing. One of the big issues when you fight a guy like Tank Davis is you have to figure out a way to earn his respect. Now, Rolando Romero, even by Tank's own account, earned his respect. He said, it's one of the toughest punches or the hardest punches I've ever faced. It still resulted in him getting knocked out bad and looking crazy and having Harvey Dog say, nah, we're not doing this anymore. That's the reality of the situation. So if you think about a Lamont Roach coming up, a guy who's not a notable puncher, he has good hand speed, far above average counterpuncher, and I'll get into his defense in a bit, that already spells trouble. So I know right away you can't keep Tank off you. You can box. You're highly regarded as a guy that's technical. I think you wait too much for your Lamont Roach, and you rely on the ability to counterpunch, which means you have to wade into the waters. Another issue that Lamont Roach is going to have is when he counterpunches, he will throw combination punches. He'll go downstairs, change levels, and bring it back up top. When is the easiest time for you to get caught with some shit? In the middle of the exchange, right? So you're telling me that Lamont Roach, who doesn't have respectable power, is going to set his feet, wait for Tank to overcommit on a shot, and then unleash a combination, understanding that Tank Davis, who's supremely talented and a gifted boxer himself, he just has God-tier power, is going to see and know that and then knock you out bad. That you're getting knocked out bad. Yeah. Yep. That's what's going to happen to you. Yeah. So let's just get into the film study. The first thing I want to identify here is this shot. This is not on repeat. This is varying shots because Hector Luis Garcia has identified a deficiency in the defense of one Lamont Roach. This is going to be that left hook or that left kind of like digging shot to the body over and over and over again. Like I mentioned, Ryan Garcia got stopped bad to the body, and it was on an extended shot. As you look at these clips, you will see Hector Luis Garcia is landing this shot on Lamont Roach on repeat. Overcommit, uppercut to the body, stab, uppercut to the body, over and over again. Now, imagine for a second, if you will, that's Tank Davis landing the same shot. We already know what happens there. This can't be a thing that happens. Now, late in this fight, as we move down the tape, the other thing that you'll notice is the opportunity to counter for Hector Luis Garcia is abundant. And the reason why that exists is because he is not a notable puncher, that being Lamont Roach. If you're deficient in power, I just don't even know why you fight Tank Davis, seriously. Because if he doesn't have to respect it and he has a boxing skill and ability when you do have the power, then I don't see an avenue for success. As you see the counterpunching opportunities provided to Hector Luis Garcia, you have to wonder, Tank Davis, can he capitalize on that? If you go back and look at it, I'll throw some tape in here. If you go back and look at the counterpunching skill and ability of Tank Davis in the Hector Luis Garcia bout, the shit is shocking. It's terrifying. But that's besides the point. The final prediction is, like I mentioned before at the top, Gervonta Tank Davis by brutal stoppage. I want to bank on the body shot, the left uppercut coming off the power side from Tank Davis to the body, folding Lamont Roach and getting him out of here inside of 7 rounds. If it is not that shot, then it's earlier, rounds 1 through 4, and it's a headshot knockout. So that's my prediction for this bout. Let me know what you guys are thinking. The rest of the card actually looks pretty good. I want to kind of chat about some of those bouts. You have Jose Venezuela, Gary El Rio, Gary Antoine Russell. That's a great fight. And then Albert Puello, and then Sandor Martin. That's another great bout. Shout out to Julian J. Rock Williams. Last time I seen him, he was probably like 200 pounds. Not in person, but not Julian Williams, excuse me. That's Jared Hurd. Julian Williams, that's a PBC, consistent dude. They march out there. But Jared Hurd is who I was talking about. And they fought, by the way. He was looking huge. Jared Hurd running around 1,000,000 pounds, but shout out to him. What are you guys thinking about the fight card? What are your predictions? What chance does Lamont Roach really have? I don't want to really mince words or pretend or play cute. Like, he can come in and play upset. It doesn't matter. The reason why people will show up for this fight, the reason why people will buy the fight, the reason why people will clamor after the predictable outcome takes place is because Tank Davis doesn't disappoint. Tank Davis said, I'm going to go ahead and separate somebody from their senses. That's going to happen. That's facts. This is why when you think about, I don't even want to do it, but I'm going to, Shakur Stevenson saying the things that he says, I know he's not a puncher. But Tank Davis don't even really tell you like that. He'll tell his opposition, yeah, you going to sleep, straight like that. But we believe you. And that's what makes him a star. Consistency, following through on your promises, and putting dudes in the dirt. Like I said before, this is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified. If you made it this far, you definitely real one, and we out.